and welcome back to Victory Monday. And let's talk Chicago Bears. Yeah, it's 3 weeks in a row. Victory Monday. Yeah, right on. What a great game, huh? 35-16. Yeah. We did pretty good being in London. You know, the Bears looked a lot better than they did when they played in 2019 on that London game. The Jags looked terrible. The Jags, I kept saying, God, they look just like the Bears look in 2019 when we lost to the Raiders in London because we waited to the last minute to get to London. They didn't arrive till Friday in 2019, and nor did the Jags because they waited because of the hurricane, and they should have gotten out sooner, but whatever, we don't care. It's a Victory Monday. Yeah, all right, so let's get to talking about that a little bit, huh? Well, the one thing about that game with the Jags, because I was like, here's a new segment that I'm going to start doing every week. I'll throw it into the show. It's called It's Sort of Interesting. Did you know that fact? Yeah, it's a new segment. It's sort of interesting. Did you know it? So here's your sort of interesting fact for today's show on Let's Talk Chicago Bears. I was wondering how many teams have played the most in London. And it's actually the Jaguars. They have played the most games in London. They've played 11 games so far since they started doing this. And they'll play their 12th game on Sunday because they have another game this Sunday in London. I know. Crazy, isn't it? But apparently, my son told me that the owner of the Jaguars he thinks he might own a soccer team in the UK somewhere. So that may be why. But so it's a sort of interesting fact for the day. Also, we got to give a shout out to Cole Kmet. What a wonderful game he had yesterday. Our wonderful tight end number 85. He got the game ball after the game was over, and he certainly deserved it. He scored 2 touchdowns, and after each touchdowns, he came out and was the long snapper for the extra point. No player's ever done that in history of football. And Cole Kmet, congratulations, you're the first one because I think in the first quarter, our long snapper got hurt. So now Cole Kmet is our long snapper. But that's interesting. He scored a touchdown, come out, he's a long snapper. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's get to some facts here on a wonderful Victory Monday. My threes: time of possession, turnovers, and penalties. You know I do them always the Friday before, and then I talk about them on the game after. The Bears won all 3 of them, and clearly they won the game. But time of possession, they were pretty much neck to neck. The Bears had 30 minutes and 40 seconds time of possession, and the Jaguars had 29 minutes and 20 seconds. So that was even. The Bears beat them in the turnovers. The Bears had 2 turnovers on defense. The Jags had 1. We know that Williams threw the interceptions. And here's a big, big area that, bugs me. And I'm so happy to see the Bears only had 2 penalties last week. Yesterday on Sunday's game, 2. 2 weeks ago, they had 10. Last week ago, they had 5. And now they had 2. Huge difference. Because I say you need 5 and less, you're going to have a really good chance to win the game. And I'm going to give you an example how bad penalties can really screw you up. The Jaguars had 8 penalties. And in the third quarter, they had 3 penalties on defense, the Jags. All 3 times they had stopped the Bears on third down. And the Jags turned around and gave them first down 3 times on that drive due to penalties, and the Bears ended up going down and scoring a touchdown. Do you see how that is? And that's it. I thank you, Jags. Thank you. Because we got a touchdown on it. But 8 penalties and 3 on that one drive. So they're just the worst. You've got to be disciplined. Jaguars look sloppy as hell. I mean, we are 4-2. They are 1-5 now. I mean, the last 3 games we beat teams we should have beaten, so that's a good sign, because at the end of the show I'm going to talk a little bit about how important it really is to get those victories that you should win at this time of season. Okay, so let's just talk about a few stats from yesterday. Williams, our quarterback, was 23 of 29 for 226 yards. He had 4 touchdown passes. Yes. 1 interception. That's okay. And he was sacked 3 times. Trevor Lawrence was 23 of 35 for 234 yards. He threw for 2 touchdowns. He had 1 interception, and he was sacked 4 times. And I got to tell you, the defense was in his face the entire day. He just couldn't do nothing. That defensive line, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but they really played a really good game yesterday. Very good game. We'll get into that. The rushing attack for the Bears was very good yesterday. You know, I've been preaching. I preach a lot, but the 2 things I've been saying all season for Williams, our rookie quarterback, is an offensive line and a rushing attack is his best friend. And the third one is a very good defense. And yesterday, for the most part, he had that. The offensive line, again, struggled. They had their moments, and then they didn't. But we know that. So, but the rush did. I say you always have to have your offense has to rush more than 100 yards a game. Well over that to want to win that game. And yesterday, they definitely did that. They had a total yards of 152 yards rushing. Right on. Now that, and then look at what happens. It just makes everything better. It makes the pass open up. It just makes that defense on the back of their heels, because pass, rush, what are you going to do? And they mixed it up pretty well again yesterday. Swift, our leading running back, number 4, had 91 yards. He's getting close to that 100-yard stat that I'd like to see him get. He had 1 touchdown yesterday. Williams, our quarterback, had 56 yards rushing, and 23. Johnson came in with 8 yards rushing. And so our passing, let's talk about our passing. Cole Kmet, what a day. He led the yards. Number 85, our tight end, had 70 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns scored, and he was the long snapper after the first quarter for the rest of the game. Great game, and he just played a really, really smart game. Number 13, number 13, Allen. It's really nice to see Allen getting involved, isn't it? You know, we hadn't really seen much of him because he was hurt. And then, you know, it's slowly coming back. But great game, Allen. Rome, our rookie, number 15, had 40 yards receiving. Swift, number 4, who the Bears are doing rushing and receiving and passing. And I like it now. I'm getting the what polls objective on why he signed this guy, because I wasn't sure. Swift had 28 yards receiving. He had 119 all-purpose yards, which means rushing and receiving. Well done, Swift. I want to see that every week moving forward, and then I'll jump on your bandwagon because I'm not there yet. Our number 23, our running back Johnson, had 25 yards receiving, and Moore, number 2, had 20 yards receiving. One thing about our offense I really liked is on 2 of the turnovers by our defense, the offense came back out on the field and both times got touchdowns off of 2 so they got 14 points off of 2 turnovers. So that's awesome when you can get your offense to come back. I've talked about this all season, is that in previous years, the last few years, the defense would get those turnovers, but the Bears offense would go out there, do 3 and outs, whatever, and not do anything. But now they got 14 points over 2 turnovers. That is awesome. That really builds up the whole team. It really builds up your defense. Like, wow, okay, this is awesome. We did our job. Now they come out. We made it for them, and look what they did. So right on. The defense, let's do a few stats. Great. They had, we had 2 turnovers. And I predicted on Friday, I said, we're going to have 4 sacks again and 2 turnovers. And this woman was right. Considering how pickled I am, I got to admit, I'm getting it. Yeah. Okay, so we had an interception by number 39, Blackwell, and he was in the backfield because of Brisker and Stevenson were out. Brisker didn't even make the trip, and Stevenson was out. And actually later in the game, early third quarter, Gordon went out, so there was 3 guys in the backfield that don't normally start. So, but good job, Blackwell. He got an interception, so he showed up. He's a backup. He came in, and look what he did. And then we had a fumble, and number 53, Edwards, and number 92, Hardy, were both together on that fumble, so they both got credited for a fumble. And Edwards, our linebacker from Lake Villa, yeah. Can you tell I lived in Lake Villa? For most of my years, I grew up in Prospect Heights. I was born and grew up in Prospect Heights, but my husband and I and my son lived in Lake Villa 32 plus years, something like that. So Lake Villa, homegrown Edwards. Good job. Well done. We had 4 sacks. We had a solo sack by number 5, a 95 Walker, who is one of our DNs, who is opposite Sweat. We had another D lineman, our D lineman number 91 Williams had a sack. See, some new people are coming in and getting involved, and I like that, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then there was number 45. He is a linebacker, and his name is about this long, I swear to God. And it starts with an O. I have no idea how to pronounce it, so I'll pronounce his first name. He's number 45, and his Amen is his first name. So he got a sack. So Walker Williams, Amen. And the last one, there was these 2 players got a half a sack each. 98 Swift had a half sack with number 93 Cowart. And so that was our 4 sacks. Walker, Williams, Ahmed had 1 each, and then Swift and Cowart had 1 together. See how bad I am with names? I am terrible with names. I cannot pronounce them. I am my dad's daughter. My dad was kind of like Archie Bunker, if anybody remembers who he is. He could never pronounce words or names right. But anyway, so again, 2 turnovers and 4 sacks by the defense. They went in with 14 sacks, and now they have 18. That's just awesome. Fortunately, they don't lead. I believe New York Giants, of all teams, I think they have something like 26 or 27 sacks. But they got creamed last night. But so the defense is really, really stepping up. I'm loving it. The team tacklers yesterday were number 21, Jones. He had 10. Number 53, Edwards. Lake Villa had 7. Gordon, number 6, our backfield guy, before he went out, he had 7. Gordon, before he got hurt, was all over that field yesterday. All over. He was involved in knockdowns of Trevor Lawrence, and he missed just getting a sack on him. He was all over. It's just so grateful we have this bye with these injuries. We had Brisker, Stevenson, and then Gordon, our backfield. 3 major starters hurt right now, guys. So we got to cross our fingers and pray that they get healthy in this bye, because we really need them back. And then number 31, Bide, had 6, and number 49, Edmonds, had 6. So a real team effort, I got to tell you, and the defense is what I've been saying. I think this is the first game they've held their opponents to under 100 yards rushing. That defensive line really played a well game. The Jags only had 68 yards rushing, and going in, they were averaging, it was like 128 yards a game. The D line really stepped up, and we needed them to do that. They allowed 210 yards passing, so good day. And we really needed that D-line to step up a lot. And people might have been saying they should have been blitzing more, because they probably would have gotten way more sacks than 4 if they would have. But the one reason why they didn't do as many blitzing is because of our backfield was so, hurt with 3 major guys being out, 2 initially and then 3 in the second quarter. And if you blitz, you kind of leave these back guys one-on-one a lot. So they didn't do that, and that's okay because the D-line had a game. They did what they had to do. They picked up the slack for the backfield like the backfield has been doing for them in many games. So that's really, really good, and they had them under 100 yards. They had to stop that run. They had to force Lawrence to throw, and that's exactly what they did. And it was really, when I see what we have a good, solid defense, and now we're showing we have some backups. Can do a good job. Are they Brisker, Stevenson, and Gordon? No, but they're darn close, and they really did. Like I said going into this game, if each player plays their position 100% correctly, we're going to win the game. And those backups did exactly what they needed to do. So well done job to the backups, and the D just a great game yesterday. Again, now we're talking the Jaguars. They're 1-5, but the thing is about them is, and they looked at yesterday. There's no doubt about it. The Bears, I think, had we had our 3 guys in the backfield, I know there would have been more turnovers and the score might have been higher. But the Jags, before the season started, people thought they were going to go to the playoffs. That coach is on the verge of getting fired. There's 2 coaches, in my opinion, him and McCarthy in Dallas. I'm telling you what, after their losses, they both got creamed yesterday. But excellent game by our defense, and we really need it. Just keep it up. And so the defense is doing what they're doing now, and now the offense is starting to respond to what the defense is doing, where they were getting these turnovers early. Our offense was just chugging along. Now they're coming back out there with good field position, and they're scoring points. If we can continue, if this can continue moving forward, this is going to really help the game. Again, they played, again, on all 3. We did miss a field goal, right? Didn't we? Yes, we did, but so what? But they really played well on all 3 aspects of the game. I think the only punt that we had was like a 66-yarder he hit, 70, something like that. So 19, our rookie punter is doing just fine, thank you. But like he said before, if I don't even punt one, I don't care as long as the Bears, our team, wins, and it's true. So another really well played game by the defense. Now the offense again played it very well. The offensive line still struggling. We're just not going to beat that dead horse, but our rush game came alive. 152 yards. Now that's going to win you games. I say it, you got to have over 100 yards on your offense to win games, and they did it. And look what happens. It just opens everything up. And Williams, I really liked. Each week he improves. You see little things here and there. Yes, he threw an interception. People, he's a rookie. It's going to happen, unfortunately, but it was only one. And after he threw that interception, the Bears defense came out and Jags went 3 and out. They didn't even get a first down. Boom, the Bears get the ball back. What do? They go down on a nice long drive, and we end it with a touchdown to Clement. So after he throws the interception, 3 and out by the defense, they say, we got your back, man. And that's what this team feels like to me. They've got each other's backs. And the offense comes out. He forgets about that interception and goes down and throws a touchdown. Now, can you remember that's all, folks, a quarterback on the Bears that did that, where they would throw a interception. God, Lynn, talk. An interception and then come back and throw a touchdown. Very impressive. He's smart. He's seeing the field more. He underthrew that ball. That's still a problem for him. Had he thrown, now there was 2 guys here and then there was more right here. He threw it over here. That's why it was intercepted. Had he thrown it a little harder and not underthrown and more on this side of Moore, he would have caught it, Could have been a touchdown. It would have been a first down on like what, the 5 yard line or something like that. But it was underthrown. There's no doubt about it. It was on Williams. He's got to work on those. But look what he did. So you know what? This was another complete game. This is what we needed. Now we are 4-2. You know, that's why when we lost to. You hear people still bringing it up. While when we lost to those Indianapolis by those 5 points, the Bears beat themselves on that game. Indianapolis did not beat us. We really needed to win that game because then we'd be 5-1 going in after this. But we have a bye. We won't play again till the 27th, and that's going to be Washington. After the bye, we've got 11 games left after the bye, and I'm telling you what, we're going to talk about that in a second, about how hard it's going to be. But it's the team, let's hope they all get rested, have a little fun, but not too much fun, and then get their heads back to this second half. I am sure today, they meet today. They got home late, probably, 2, 3 in the morning, who knows. And then they watch the game films from yesterday, and then he lets them go. But I'm sure Flus is telling them, we've got to be focused on this second half because the first half was easy schedule. The second half, I want to say that I've heard the Bears have like the second toughest second half schedule on the books. And it's really going to be a test to see how good the Bears really are. I'm telling you, I do not anticipate any more 2-route games we've had in the last 2 games. I do not anticipate that. I will be happy if the Bears come out 500 from these next 11 games, okay? So I'm sure Flus is saying, all right, get your head clear, get your bodies feeling better, have a little fun, and then come back next Monday ready to face this tough schedule. Wonderful game yesterday. So let's talk real briefly about the before we go on, because I won't be back until the 25th. I'll be back a week from this Friday on the 25th before the after the bye, the Friday before the Washington game on that Sunday. And then we'll start but I'm going to give you a little hint of who we are going to be playing. Starting after the bye, we've got Washington is our first team we're playing, and they are 5-1, I believe. Are they? I think so. Then you've got Arizona. You've got New England. Not really worried about them. The 49ers and the Seahawks. So Washington, Arizona, New England, 49ers, and Seahawks outside of our division. That's who we're playing. And then we have 6 games within our division. We haven't even played anybody in our division yet. We've got 2 with Green Bay, 2 with Minnesota, and 2 with Detroit. And our division, I can't remember what I heard, but it's been since, was it the 60s or the 70s, that every one of our teams is at least 4 wins or more in our division right now. So it's a tough division. So you see these 11 games I'm just telling you about. Now, I'm not overly worried about Arizona and New England. 49ers, yes. Seahawks, you never know what you're going to get. Washington is going to be a real test. It's to be our first game back after the bye. Washington is really good. And they have the second, what's his name? Jalen Daniels or something like that. He was number 2 quarterback picked in. We got the number 1 pick. Washington took the second pick. And this guy, and I guess he is rocking it. So the Bears have a very, very tough schedule, people, coming up. I'm giving you an idea. They have got to play like lights out, air free football for the next 11 games when they come back from the bye, because it's going to be tough. And even just our division alone, what I want right now moving forward for the rest of the season is I want the Bears to finish over 500, because it hasn't been like that in a long time, and I'd like them to be up there, and I'd like them to beat Green Bay at least 1 out of 2 times this year. Don't you think it would be awesome if we could take these 6 games with our divisions and win, if we could go 3-3? The Bears, if for some chance we could go 3-3 against Minnesota, Detroit, and Green Bay, the Bears would be like, oh, thank you, football gods. They would be blessed. But I don't know if it's going to happen. We're not going to go down that road just yet, because we are going to enjoy this game and the last 3 games in this bye. We're going to enjoy it because people strap it on, because after the bye, it's going to be real. I don't think we're going to be celebrating as much, but you never know. You know what? Confidence, and if you get this team playing consistently, 3 aspects all come to play, you're going to win games. If you keep those errors down and Cade gets better each week. And that's really what we want at the end of the day, is our quarterback by the end of the season to be ready to go and win a Super Bowl in 2025. Really? That's our goal? Come on, people. Really? No, you know that's not going to happen this year. But they're improving each week on things I say. So the rush is over 100 yards for the offense. The defense kept the rush under 100 yards. The penalties are down. Our defense is getting sacks, turnovers. But again, and I will do that on next Friday. I will figure out some stats from all the teams we play, and we'll talk about it. So anyways, wonderful game. I did get up at 6 a.m. I got up at 10 to 6, got in, took a shower, came down, made my coffee. 6:30 a.m., I'm sitting in front of the TV watching that game. I at first said I was going to record it. I'm like, you're not going to do that. And I'm so glad I didn't. I was running around my house screaming and yelling when they were scoring those touchdowns. You should have seen me. And then my grandsons and I would make little videos back and forth to each other celebrating. My grandsons are 8 months old and 2.5 years old. But my 2.5-year-old is already a Bears fan. Yeah, right on. Okay, another wonderful victory. Man, fans, let's just hope, let's get that train going. But I said we're going to have to strap it on for the next 11 games. But again, let's enjoy this one. So it is a Victory Monday, so you know what it means. I got to sing that awful Bears touchdown song because it's freaking funny and it'll make you laugh, right? Yes, and you can sing along with me if you want. I think I just muted my microphone. I do that frequently because I always talk with my hands. So my friend who I used to do a live podcast with, you got to keep those hands down. You keep muting your microphone. I know, aren't I crazy? Pickled! But what a day yesterday. So, are we ready for this wonderful song? Bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play, clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Put up a fight with the might so fearlessly. We'll never forget the way you thrilled the nation with your T formation. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Let them know why you were wearing the crown. You're the pride and joy of Illinois. Chicago Bears, bear down. Right on. Man, why was I not nominated for a Grammy? Okay, Lynn. Anyway, see how much fun it is when the Bears win. We can just be silly and we can talk about the things. And so you probably won't have to be put through that song a lot after this bye, but you never ever know. You know what? This lady would love to be wrong and the Bears win. But again, we'll just enjoy what's going on right now. We'll talk more next on the 25th. I'll be back. I'm taking my bye. I'm taking my time chill out. I won't have to be stressed out next Sunday about the Bears one way or another. I can just watch football all day and enjoy it. There were some great college games too on Saturday, some overtime games that were just awesome. I am a football nut. I start Thursday night and I finish on Monday night. Yeah, I know, I'm crazy, but I love it. When I was married, my husband, if you don't watch the show, you don't know it if you're not a regular, but I was married for 28 years to a wonderful man, and he passed away 16 years ago. Too young, way too young. And but when we would watch football at home, when we were still living in Illinois, in Lake Villa, he was the widower. It's usually the other way around where the man's on the, watching football all day. He was the other way around. He loved the Bears, but once the Bears game was over, he's like, oh, I can nap all day and she won't care. I didn't. He'd be napping and I'd be watching football. He was like, go ahead. I love football, So I know a friend of mine once said to me, now that you've been single for 16 years, you're a widow, you are a man's dream. Think about it, Lynn. They go, you don't want to get married again. No. I was just like friends with benefits. I like to drink beer, and I love football. Who wouldn't love that? I know, right? Oh, wait. This might have something to do with it. Just kidding. Anyways, you know what? As long as you learn a little something, you enjoy my show, and you laugh, that's what it's all about, right? Because we need to laugh more. Because as I end my shows always, love one another, be kind to one another, stop hate, just be nice, support each other, and laugh. Laughing is such a good thing, isn't it? It really is. You need it. We really need it now. And I will tell you, as I told you, my husband passed away, 16 years ago, and he was sick a really long time. He was sick 16 years out of our 28-year marriage, and we laughed a lot. Laughing got us through some times, and trust me when I tell you, it works. It helps a lot. So try to do that. Life can be tough, I get it. And, if you really do need a laugh and you're down and you're like, God, what can I do? Just turn this show on and look at this face. I say it to my friends all the time. I'll text them a picture of my face and say, if they're having a bad day. Now, doesn't this help? So, again, be kind. Bears fans, rock. Midwest, you know what? We all love people and we all welcome them in. And do that all over the United States, please, for this lady. And thank you for watching me. Again, I say that all the time. I appreciate it. I like the fact that people like to turn me on. Boom, boom. Okay, so I will see you guys on Friday the 25th, the show after the bye. Enjoy your bye. We'll talk about Washington then. Enjoy these last few victories. We are 4-2. We haven't been in this spot in a very long time, and it feels damn good. This is something I thought last year we were going to see more and more improvement this year, like we are this year, last year, but we didn't. Now we drank that Kool-Aid last year and we didn't get it. Now it's okay to drink the Kool-Aid because it's finally happening. So go Bears. I love you. Enjoy your bye. And everybody, as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby.